NASCAR at the Brickyard is usually a very special race. Now, let's not kid ourselves. When it was at the Oval the last few years, it was very bad because of the car. But guys, this race, I thought it was good. I thought it was an 8 out of 10. Solid road course race. But it is also the absolute reason why I'm fully on board with going back to the Oval. I know they're not racing at the road course in 2020, or they're not racing on the Oval in 2023. But in 2024, they need to go back to the Oval. I'm ticked off right now. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm actually annoyed with what I just saw. Now, again, let me explain. I'm pleased with the actual race, the strategy, and actually the insane amount of strategy that was going on. I was a little bit perplexed as to how tires could last 50 laps without falling off, like Ryan Blaney on just not changing tires and able to stay up there. I'm annoyed with the dirty air of this race car. For some reason, the next-gen car is really, really good. But at short tracks and road courses, there's this weird thing that, it must be the rear diffuser, and NASCAR is going to probably work on something for it. But yeah, it's just really struggles in dirty air around slow corners, which is just like when you think if you think about physics and science, like usually that's not how it works. The more turbulent the air is because the faster you are going. But with this car, the slower you go, the more turbulent the air becomes. How that works, I have no idea. But yeah, it was a solid 8 out of 10, guys. Before I go any further, I want to give a shout out to all the Patreon members, as always, for supporting the channel. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much. I will be moving on Tuesday, so I'm leaving in 2 days. So thank you guys so much, and hopefully next week you'll see me in a different, background and all that stuff. But let's get back to the race, all right? Because I think I'm probably gonna put rant in the title of this video. Okay. Now again, I thought it was a good race, so don't get me mad, or don't get me wrong, or twist my words. But the level of driving I saw towards the end of this race was flat out embarrassing. Now, what caused it? Well, what caused it was actually a really unfortunate incident between Kyle Larson and Ty Dillon, where Larson's pedal I don't think it stuck, but he didn't have a brake pedal. So he goes into turn one. You're carrying, probably like 180 heading into turn one, and you don't have any brakes. And so he just video games it into the corner because he has no brakes, and literally door slams Ty Dillon. Could have been way worse. Just think of the options. One, there was no car there. He just goes straight. To be fair, he wouldn't have really hit anything until a lot later, because he would go through grass, then he would have to go through the gravel trap and then hit something. So the speed would have been taken down, but it would have been a pretty scary ride if he didn't hit Ty Dillon and instead just went through. And maybe that wouldn't even have happened because he tried, spinning that car out essentially through the grass. Maybe he would have hit something bad. I don't know. But in a weird, lucky way, Ty Dillon was there. Ty Dillon didn't get hurt. Larson didn't get hurt. But that caution is what caused the nonsense to happen. So what I mean by this is this race can be separated into two phases. Before that Kyle Larson incident, hold on, my dog needs pets. Guys, sometimes you just gotta pet the dog. He's down here, so I guess I'll talk from here, okay? Don't mind the offset camera. But basically, this race is in two phases, okay? So before Larson's incident, I thought the race was pretty solid, a solid road course race with a lot of strategy and all that good stuff. And then after that incident, where you had basically two green-white checkers and some of the most embarrassing driving I've ever seen. Yeah, but this has nothing to do with NASCAR or the track. This is really just the drivers and the absolute stupidity that I am seeing. Now, maybe you could put some of the blame on the track because the track is designed to have this really, really tight, turn one, and it kind of all funnels in there. There's no runoff area because there's, it's basically like a little chicane. So, yeah, you could maybe put some blame on the track, but here, let me show this, okay? This is the first restart, right? This is where Chase Elliott and Tyler Reddick are going side by side in turn one, but let's forget about those two right now. Just look at everything that's going on behind them, right? And specifically, take a look at Joey Logano, because this is the stupidity that I'm talking about. There's now some sort of weird acceptance that you're just going to run into people and that's what's going to happen, and everyone's going to accept it, and that somehow I guess it's acceptable. No one's going to get mad. It's just acceptable just to run into other people. This is literally some amateur iRacing official hosted sessions shit that I'm seeing right now. Excuse my language. Like, that's literally what I'm saying. This is the reason why I don't do official iRacing races, because everyone races like a jackass and thinks they can win it on lap 1. This is literally what it is. Look at Joey Logano. He goes, what, 6 wide, 5 wide, and he knows he's not making the corner. He made that move late just to do it because I'm not going to make the corner. He just uses everyone else as like a bus stop to stop him. That causes Kyle Busch on the other end to spin. And then before that, you also have, it looks like, who is that? It looks like Suarez into Byron, into Blaney, and everyone in the pack. They just don't care. They're just all running into each other. This is flat out embarrassing. Like, it's flat out embarrassing. There's no one even trying to not make contact. Like, you just head into turn 1 and you're like, I'm going to use that car to stop me. That's essentially what these guys are doing. And that is not racing. Like, I understand NASCAR's beating and banging, right? And Rubbin's racing and all that. But I'm literally watching 25 cars in a field just use each other as stopgaps. Like, what are we doing? 40 of the best drivers in the world. No, it's flat out embarrassing. You shouldn't have to use stopgaps. Let's look for the final restart. That was the restart that Elliott got spun out and yada, yada, yada. Kyle Busch gets spun out. William Byron's involved in that. But let's look at the final restart. The final restart, I would say maybe people are a little bit more tame. But now you have Ross Chastain just gunning it through the access road. You know, like and then you can see, who is that? It's AJ Allmendinger, it's Suarez, it's Blaney. They're literally all off the track. I mean, then Allmendinger, just to get back on the track, has to wreck Ryan Blaney, and then he just shoves him like it's a video game. Like, I'm just gonna shove you out of the way, and everyone's just going everywhere, and it's just embarrassing. And then to even add on to the absolute nonsense of it all is that Chastain, who took the access road, then comes back onto the track ahead of Tyler Reddick when he should never be there. So, and then he ends up basically racing Tyler Reddick for that entire lap, when we all knew, especially me, I knew right away that was not going to be a race for the win. He was going to get penalized for that because he just cheated. He just said, I'm not going to go into that corner. I'm just going to gun it through the access road and I'll get it through there. This level, this is the NASCAR Cup Series. I expect this nonsense in the Xfinity or the Truck Series. I get it, because there's a lot of drivers in there who are paid drivers, who are learning how to drive, and honestly, like 20% of them don't even belong there. They just have money, and they're able to race there. Fine, I get that. This is the Cup Series. This is the Cup Series. You shouldn't have to just lean on everyone just to make a corner, gun the access lane, and then decide to try to race the race winner where you got to block him all the way into one of the heavy braking zones, when you in the back of your mind must know that you're going to get penalized because you just cut the entire track. Like, what the hell is going on? What if Chastain does what a Chastain would do and just wrecks Reddick by accident because, oh man, I was too aggressive? And then what? You penalize Chastain and then Reddick loses the race because someone decided to gun the access road? Like, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. This is not NASCAR. NASCAR, I could argue what NASCAR is rivalries and fights and like short track battles and beating and banging. This is not beating and banging. This is just idiocy, stupidity, and then just nonsense. That's all this is. That's all that is. Like, a very good race at the beginning, just completely shamed by a bunch of stupidity going on in the final end. And this is why the oval needs to come back. Now, everyone can complain about it. We all complained about it 3 years ago, right? Oh, NASCAR fans, they never know what they want. They all complained for the oval to go. And yes, you know why? Because the Gen 6 car sucked ass. I said that since 2014. So when you take a 550 horsepower package and you try to put it on Indianapolis Oval, and next thing you know, of course no one's going to be able to pass it. Yeah, you're going to probably have to change it. That's why they changed it, because the car sucked ass. This car actually would put on a better show at the Indianapolis Oval than what Gen 6 would. Would it be the greatest race of all time? A showstopper, HBK, you know, like the showstopper style, right? Would it be like that? No, it wouldn't be like that, but it could be a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. The most important thing is, for the sport of NASCAR, you're racing at the Brickyard on the oval, because NASCAR is an oval racing series, and you should be racing at the Brickyard on the oval. Now, especially that you have the damn car to do it. You should do it. Why are we doing this? This is embarrassing. All this is going to show, these highlights, to everybody else is, look at these idiots going 7 wide into turn 1 and just hitting everyone like it's like I'm at some sort of pinball concert or something. What's a pinball concert? I don't even know what a pinball concert is. Some sort of pinball machine. Or you go to your local, I don't know, like your local amusement park, get into the bumper carts and just hit everyone. Because that's essentially what this is. You just take bumper carts into turn 1 and you just hit everyone. The sides, the back, the front. Who cares who I wreck? Who cares who I run into? I'm just going to go do it. It's embarrassing. It's just plainly embarrassing. The finish of this race is every reason why the NASCAR needs to go back to the oval. Every single reason, right in the 5 laps of that race, right there. I don't want to watch stupidity like that. I do want to watch solid racing. I do want to see beating and banging. And I do want to see rivalries, but I don't want to see stupidity. What we saw today is essentially what I would do in a stupid NASCAR 21 Ignition video game thing, where I would just drive it in there and just wreck people because I find it funny, or what people would do on iRacing official sessions when everyone thinks they know how to drive, then they don't know how to drive, and they get mad at everyone because they take it way too seriously. That was video game stuff that I saw in real life. And usually when you say, that's video game stuff I see in real life, it's actually something kind of cool. This one was just pure stupidity. I mean, it looks like a bunch of amateurs. And I'm sure half the drivers feel the same exact way. They don't want to race like that. But it's like, what are you supposed to do? If I'm running in 10th, right? And I have 2 cars to my outside. I have 2 cars to my inside. I'm getting hit from behind. Like, what am I... Like, you think Martin Truex Jr. wants to be involved? Martin Truex Jr. is one of the cleanest drivers I know. And you think he's going to want to just beat and bang everyone like that? Are you serious? It's just a joke. It's just a joke. I'm sure the drivers are embarrassed by it, too. Like, it's just a straight-up joke. Now that I've gotten off the rant aspect of this video, let's actually go to the standings, because, or the race results, because I actually want to give some shout outs to some people. Race winner Tyler Reddick, second road course win of the season, second career win of the season, dominated the whole race. Very glad he won, because I swear on my life, if Ross Chastain would have wrecked him or cost him the win in any sort of way, I would have been even angrier coming onto this video. Austin Cindric, very talented road course racer, brings it home in second. And then everyone else, guys, literally everybody else is just whoever survived into turn 1 and all the nonsense. The rest of the results do not indicate anything of where anyone was running, okay? Harrison Burton, didn't see him all race, ends up in 3rd. Todd Gilliland somehow ends up in 4th. Incredible run for those 2 guys. Bubba Wallace, big shout out to him. Yes, he did finish 5th, and yes, it was because of chaos and everything, but he did much better today than he's done at a lot of other road courses. Today was the first sign of real improvement that I saw from him. Also, compared to his teammates, the Toyotas are really not very good today, so he's the highest finishing Toyota by a country mile. And in terms of his running position, he actually did very well. So Bubba Wallace, great job with your top 5. Joey Logano was one of the main culprit of the nonsense that happened in a turn 1, so he finishes 6th by just beating and banging his way through, and that's the point. That's what you have to do to get 6th, right? That's what he had to do. So is it morally right? Is he probably proud of the way he drove in a turn 1, just knocking 5 people out of the way? No. But his team says, hey, get us the best result you can. All right, he gets 6th because of it. Adrian Allmendinger probably collapsed in the race car. I recorded this right after the race ended, so I didn't see him. But he had no AC, no water. The cool suit wasn't working. He was a mess. He ends up finishing 7th, and hopefully he's doing okay. Michael McDowell, Cole Custer, Chris Buescher, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Cole Custer really needed that because Cole Custer's had one of the worst seasons I've ever seen anyone have. And then Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones, and the rest of your results. Chase Elliott's in 16th. Again, he got spun out on the second and final restart. Actually, I didn't see Ty Gibbs at all day. Ty Gibbs finished 17th. I didn't hear of him, didn't see him. So I forgot he was even in the race, to be honest. And honestly, it's probably a good thing, because everything he saw today was absolute nonsense. And he saw what he's about to get himself into in a year or 2 time. And so, yeah, the rest of your results, everything else is just absolute chaos. Shout out Daniel Kvyat, by the way. First Cup race, former F1 driver in 36th. Had a bunch of mechanical issues, so never really got to see what he could do. But his first ever race in a Cup car, so that was cool. I just saw here that Chastain and the number 1 and 3 cars have received, I guess that means Austin Dillon as well, have received a 30-second penalty for shortcutting the course. Good, because that's just ridiculous. Then yeah, it's just embarrassing. Like Joey Logano should be embarrassed of himself, what he did. Literally just entering the corner knowing he's gonna run into people. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Anyways, I think I'm gonna end it there, guys. I mean, I don't know. It's just annoying. The playoff standings really aren't that different because Kevin Harvick DNF'd, so he didn't have any like he's gonna have to win essentially. Like the point situation is this: Martrix Jr. is safe on points, Ryan Blaney is safe on points, but Truex is on the bubble. Harvick needs to win. If Harvick wins, Truex is knocked out, and then Blaney goes to the bubble. If someone like Eric Almirola wins, then Truex is knocked out. So yeah, that's essentially the playoff situation, and it's not really going to change because Harvick's bad result today essentially means like it's going to be almost impossible for him to point his way in. So yeah, that's basically the playoff situation. So that hasn't really changed that much entering the next few races. Let me know what you think in the comments. I thought, this is probably the first race that genuinely ticked me off. Like, I have enjoyed this entire season, and I enjoyed everything up to 5 laps to go. But those final 5 laps just ticked. I watched it, and I was embarrassed to be watching it. I felt like I was watching a clown show. That is what really annoyed me. That's the first time I felt like that about NASCAR in quite a while. I've seen idiots wreck other idiots for no reason, and then everyone gets mad at them. But I haven't seen the entire field basically do some nonsense like that for 2 straight restarts. Just embarrassing. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. So yeah, take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys. Well, I pre-recorded like 5 videos, so you won't see me live for a while. But I'll see you guys next week for a race review. Hopefully I can get it done if I am moved in by time for next Sunday, whatever the race is. I actually don't even know what the next race is. I used to know the NASCAR schedule so well, but now I just don't. Next up is Michigan. Okay, Michigan, Richmond, Watkins Glen, Daytona. So 4 different style of racetracks for 4 straight weekends. I want to see if I could actually go to that Daytona race, August 27th, Daytona. I think Daytona is only going to be an hour away from Orlando. I think maybe 45 minutes. So actually, I'll be close. Yeah, maybe I could go to that Daytona race. I haven't thought about it. So I'll see you guys later. Take care of yourselves. Subscribe if you're new. Comment down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And yeah, peace out.